That is insane. Insane. If I would have to pick one of these fighters, I would probably pick both of them to lose, to be honest. What a crazy, crazy comeback. What is going on, everybody? This is Sergey from MMA Soap Opera. Welcome back to my channel. So this is actually a very first video that I'm filming in 2025. I'm sorry for the 1 week delay. I was doing a bunch of travel during the past week, and let's just say that your boy needed a little break. But now we're back, and we're gonna talk a little bit about this past weekend, which was of course Ribas versus Dern's. I kind of fucked up there as well. We're gonna get to that. Then I also want to talk about this new video that UFC released, UFC Honors 2024. I think that there were some interesting takes there. And I would also like to round it out with a couple of thoughts about UFC 311, which is already in just 5 days. Alright, so let's jump into the video. Okay, so UFC Fight Night Dern versus Ribas, and I gotta say, I was a little bit unlucky with this one. The situation is that I live in Sweden, and here in Sweden we basically have only one single platform where we can watch UFC. The platform is called Viaplay. It's super expensive, and like they have a nice interface and you can watch a lot of sports there. But for some reason when I was watching the event and even on the next day, like the picture was so choppy, it was almost impossible to watch. Check it out. So like I said, a really bad quality and really terrible way to watch MMA fight, because obviously in MMA anything can happen any second. So if the picture keeps chopping all the time for a couple of seconds, like I'm missing basically everything. But anyways, I managed to get through the event anyways. It's just that, you know, I don't have all the details, I don't have all the info, but what I did manage to see was a couple of those crazy knockouts that happened during the evening. For example, the one that Cesar Almeida landed against Abdul Alhassan, that was a crazy one. Like the dude was laying there for a couple of minutes after that. It was kind of scary. Oh yeah, and then I also saw the one that Puna Soriano landed on Uroš Medic, and I gotta be honest, on the walkout I was getting really excited about this fight because Uroš Medic, he's actually an undefeated fighter, well, until now. And dude, like what a crazy way to lose your I think that he got knocked out in like first 30 seconds or something like that, right? But yeah, that's MMA for you. You never know what is gonna happen. Even the guy with the craziest record can go down in seconds. That's one of the reasons why we love the sport so much, right? Anyways, but then I also managed to kind of watch through the majority of the Curtis versus Kopylov fight. Like everyone is saying that that was the fight of the evening, that that was the best fight on the card. It really seemed to me like it was 1-1 going into a third round. And honestly, I thought that Kopylov was winning the third round easily. Like I might be wrong, of course. I know that there is a really good case for the fact that the referee should have taken a point. I think there was an eye poke and kick in a groin as well. But stopping the fight 1 second before the end of it, to be honest, I'm not sure if that would make that big of a difference, because like I said, I really feel like Kopylov was winning the third round easily. But yeah, I really feel bad for Chris Curtis. I know that he was really focused for this fight. In his pre-fight interview, he was even talking about him and Sean Strickland, how they managed to like sort of put aside their beef for now because they needed each other's help for their coming fights. Well, for Chris Curtis, this was the coming fight. We'll see what is gonna happen with Chris Curtis. I think that there could actually be a really good chance for him to go down in the weight class to welterweight. I don't know how difficult are the weight cuts for him when it comes to the middleweight. And looking at his age, what is he? Okay, so he's 37 years old. Okay, that's not the youngest dude on the roster, but I think it's worth a shot for him to try and go down for the welterweight and see how it's gonna go for him in there. But still, congratulations to both fighters anyway. They won the fight of the night. So yeah, it seems like this was a really good start of the year. I can't really tell once again. But yeah, I'm happy that UFC is starting 2025 with a good fight night card. Moving on, I would like to actually talk about this UFC Honors 2024 video that UFC just released on their YouTube channel, because I thought that it was kind of interesting. So here's the Fan Choice Awards. Like a couple of these are fairly obvious. We're gonna get to Max Holloway in just a second. Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier, submission of the year. I don't know, man, I always feel like the submissions of the year are the hardest one to determine, because I feel like there's usually more interesting submissions than crazy knockouts or crazy finishes. I don't know, I might be wrong about that, but that's just a spontaneous feeling that I'm having right now. Then event of the year, obviously UFC 300, that had to be the case. Debut of the year was Carlos Prates when he fought Trevin Giles. Carlos Prates, what a crazy fighter with a really good swagger as well. But like I already talked about it before, basically the whole team of fighting nerds is just insane right now. If this category wasn't called debut of the year but the prospect of the year, I would still probably give it to Prades, but I think that Payton Tallbot would be in discussion as well. And he would probably win it if he would have fought more in the last year. So yeah, I think that there is a big expectation for Payton Tallbot for 2025. We're gonna talk about it in a second as well, by the way. But this one is really interesting. Comeback of the year, Renato Moicano versus Jalen Turner. This was another fight on UFC 300, and man, what an interesting take. I actually love this. I'm a massive fan of Renato Moicano. I think that he has an incredible personality. He's super fun on the microphone. And yeah, I don't really remember being super impressed by Renato Moicano when he was in the cage, but I certainly remember that crazy moment when he basically got knocked out. Jalen Turner turned around and walked away, and Moicano somehow managed to stand up anyways. Okay, maybe he wasn't knocked out completely. He was knocked down. But yeah, the dude basically walked down on him. Renato managed to survive the round, and he got the finish in the second round. What a crazy comeback. So yeah, really good pick, guys, really good pick. But overall, if you would watch this video, this UFC Honors 2024 video, it was basically a Max Holloway domination. The dude got the obvious one, knockout of the year against Justin Gaethje, and he also got Dana White's performance of the year and the fight of the year as well. So yeah, great year for Max Holloway despite getting knocked out against Ilia Topuria, of course. But still, I think that it's interesting that overall the community seems to agree on like things like the best knockout of the year, the best event of the year. Hold on, did they talk about the fighter of the year? Because I think that that one should go to Ilia Topuria for sure, with honorable mention of Alex Pereira. Of course. I already talked about it in the past video, but I just think that the fact that he knocked out two legends of the weight class in the same year, in the same year, in like 6 months or something, I think that is insane. But yeah, I guess I would like to wrap this topic up with basically saying that I can't imagine how UFC can top 2024. If you think about UFC 300, if you think about Sphere, if you think about the massive fights that we had last year, the fact that so many weight classes got completely new champions, crazy year of 2024. I can't wait what is gonna happen in 2025. Yeah, man, and the last thing that I would like to discuss is the fact that we're gearing up for UFC 311, which is just in a couple of days, this coming weekend. I already explained it in the last video. Because I live in Sweden and because of the time difference, I'm actually not watching the UFC events on Saturday evening, but I'm watching them on Sunday morning. And for me, this coming Sunday, when I'm gonna be watching UFC 311, it's gonna be my birthday. Yeah, man, turning 32. I already shared a bunch of thoughts on UFC 311, so if you're curious, check it out in here. But what I'm currently thinking about the most is the fight of Jiří Procházka and Jamahal Hill. Once again, this is how you pronounce his name, Jiří Procházka. And the reason why I'm thinking about this fight is I feel like this is the highest stakes of the whole event. Neither of these two fighters can afford to lose this one because their last fights, of course, were for the belt, were against Alex Pereira, and both of them got knocked the out. Also, I said in the last video that if I would have to pick one of these fighters, I would probably pick both of them to lose, to be honest. But yeah, I think that it's gonna be really interesting. Honestly, my gut is telling me that Hill is probably gonna take this one. I just think that he has a better defense than Jiří Procházka, and the fact that Jiří is just such a tornado, I don't know, I feel like Hill is gonna be able to stay calm and just find the right shot. So yeah, it's just one of those fights where my heart is saying Jiří Procházka, but my head is saying Jamahal Hill. We'll see what is gonna happen there. Also, I can't wait for this week's interviews. I hope that Merab is not gonna be that much of a drama queen as he was in the past couple of weeks. But on the other hand, I gotta give Merab his prop because he's been really good at taunting Merab as well. Like when Merab wasn't let in PI to train because Umar was there and then Umar filmed the video taunting him, I thought that shit was hilarious. But yeah, coming back to Payton Tallbot because he's gonna be fighting on this UFC card. Obviously, highly anticipated next fight of a big prospect. And dude, he is minus 1,100 favorite to win this fight. That's insane. That's some serious favoritism against Barcelos. And I don't know, Barcelo is not that bad of a fight, man. We'll see. I kind of hope that Barcelo is gonna put it on Payton Tallbot, to be honest, because I feel like we need to see a little bit more of him. I hope that we're gonna get at least one round. Because like right now, it's fairly difficult to assess the skills of Payton Tallbot. I mean, one of the reasons is because Payton Tallbot is finishing his fights really fast. I want to see at least one round. I want to see more of this guy. Alright guys, this is it for today's video. What do you guys think about the Curtis and the Kopylov situation? Did the fight get stopped too early? Also, what were your picks for 2024 and what do you think about the UFC 311? Do you think that Merab is gonna be a massive drama queen? Do you think that Jamahal Hill is gonna get destroyed or maybe is gonna clip Jiří Procházka like I'm predicting? Make sure to let me know about all this in the comment section down below, but also make sure to hit like, subscribe and ring the bell so that you don't miss any upcoming videos. So once again, thank you very much for watching guys. This is Sergey from MMA Soap Opera, cause that's what it is.